Hello and welcome to the brand new Creative Suite Design Premium CS 5.5. My name is Terry White, Worldwide Design Evangelist for Adobe Systems, and it's my pleasure to not only walk you through some new features in InDesign CS 5.5, but also, in this particular case, the new Digital Publishing Suite from Adobe. Now, of course, with InDesign CS 5.5, you have the ability to create publications for print, interactive publications for the web, and now interactive publications for tablet devices such as the iPad, the multitude of Android devices like the Motorola Xoom, and of course the Playbook. So with that in mind, let's take a look at how this whole workflow works. So let's start with an InDesign document that I have open here. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through it, and as you might notice, I'm in my interactive workspace. And of course, the interactive workspace is not new to CS 5.5, but there is one new addition, one new important addition, and that is the addition of the Overlay Creator. With the Overlay Creator, we can take objects that are seemingly static on the page, and we can turn those into interactive objects for tablet devices. So for example, I have this, again, it looks like a still photo, but actually when I open up the new Overlay Creator panel, we can see that this is set to be a 360-degree view. That's right, it's basically the photograph of the bike at 360-degree increments or angles that we can now go ahead and make interactive. And again, I get to control all of that inside of InDesign CS 5.5. So for example, I can choose what will be the first or initial image. I can choose whether or not it plays on load, so the minute the person swipes to that page, the bicycle will start spinning around. Or I can choose to have the person swipe through it, tap to play or pause, so forth and so on. So again, with this Overlay Creator, I can build upon the tool set that's already in InDesign CS5 with CS 5.5 and make things interactive directly inside my InDesign document so that they go out to tablet devices. So for example, if we continue scrolling through this, one of the other examples here is that we have a photograph that is really a slideshow. When we click on this and we look at our object states, which were introduced in InDesign CS5, we have the ability to take multiple objects and stack them together, but now with the Overlay Creator, we have the ability to turn that multiple stacked object, or the object states, into a physical slideshow. So again, you control how it works. Do they tap it and it just starts to play? Do they swipe through each photo? Do you set up buttons that change the states? It's all up to you with InDesign CS 5.5. So let's go ahead and scroll through this content. And one of the other things that we can see here, there's another slideshow, or actually the ability to zoom in. So in this case, we have a photo that we can see the photo zoomed out, but what if you wanted to actually zoom in on the artwork? Well, if we click on this photo, and again, we go to the Overlay Creator, we have the ability to choose a pan and zoom. So if I choose pan and zoom, then the user will be able to tap and the photo will zoom up to its full resolution and pan their way around inside the photo directly inside their tablet or on their tablet devices. So with that, there's one more thing I want to show before we actually go and look at it on the iPad, and that is this interactive map or this interactive display. Now in this case, we've done something pretty clever using some of the features that were built into InDesign CS5 and of course building upon those features in CS 5.5. We have another object state here, and again, a stack of photos. But in this case, instead of swiping through or having a slideshow play, what I'd love the user to be able to do is tap on different pinpoints of the map to show that location's photo. So in other words, each one of these is a button all set up in InDesign, and the button is set to go to a particular state of the object stacks. So with that, we can have the user tap to go to a specific spot and actually show that spot right on the tablet device. So now that we've seen how to build the interactive publication in InDesign, what if you wanted to test it first? What if you wanted to make sure it was doing exactly how you programmed it or set it to do inside of InDesign? You want to test your interactivity. You want to test that map to make sure it all worked. Well, instead of having to load it onto the device first to test it, we're introducing the Adobe Content Viewer for your desktop. So with that, I can go ahead and switch over to the Content Viewer. In the Content Viewer, you can just drag and drop your .folio file right into it, the one that you produced from InDesign. and your mouse becomes your finger at that point. So I can flick up to go to the next page. I can interact with that bicycle that we talked about, and so you can see it is a real 360-degree revolving bicycle. Also, if you have an internet feed, in this case I have an internet Twitter feed loaded on the right-hand side, so that will come in and allow me to test that as well. And again, we can flick up, we can play the video that was on this page here. And again, we have the ability to play that video in line or full screen. Let's go ahead and go up. And as we saw before, we have the ability to tap. And this was, again, just the slideshow that's playing automatically. And remember the pan and zoom? Well, we can click, zoom, and pan in on that photograph. So it's working exactly as I indicated from the InDesign document. We're able to test it first. So from here, I can actually tap the pinpoints so that we can see the images change from each tap on the map. So now that we've seen it in InDesign, we've built it in InDesign, we've seen it in the brand new Adobe Content Viewer. Now let's take a look at how this looks on a device like the iPad. So here I am on the iPad, and I'm just going to go ahead and launch the free Adobe Viewer. This is available on the App Store, so you can download it today. And once the viewer comes up, I see my document. So just go ahead and tap View. And again, the same experience that we saw in the Content Viewer. I can flip up to go to the various pages. I can interact with the content, such as the bicycle that I can spin around. This is working great. I also have the table of contents or the thumbnail that we saw there earlier. And let's go ahead and flip up here. We have our video. And again, we're playing the video in line, but of course, using the Overlay Creator, I can also have that video play full screen. So I can tell it what to do inside of InDesign CS 5.5, and of course that translates to the tablet device both horizontally and of course vertically and horizontally. So let's go ahead and come out of full screen on that. We'll go ahead and pause it. And you notice I'm horizontal now, but I can continue reading my content, reading my document. So we can tap to play the slideshow. And again, this was the slideshow that we set up in the Overlay Creator that's just going to auto-play when the person taps on it. We can also go to the photo that we want to zoom in on. We can tap the photo, and it will load the larger version that we can pan around, we can pinch, and zoom. And this, again, was a popular request. People wanted to be able to zoom content inside of their digital publications. So again, my favorite page in the spread or this publication, the interactive map where you tap the pins on the map to change the photo. So we can go to the map, we can tap on different pins and see those spots on the map, the actual photos that represent those locations. As you can see, we have taken the content that we started with in InDesign CS 5.5 and we took it out to EPUBs earlier, ebooks, and now we've taken it to a digital publication using the Overlay Creator to add the interactivity for tablet devices that allow a touch interface, such as the iPad or the multitude of Android devices or the Playbook. The Adobe Content Viewer, the same content, one document publishing out to multiple formats, multiple devices, and of course, it's the Creative Suite Design Premium CS 5.5 that is powering all of this technology, and you should get your hands on it today. So thanks again for watching. My name is Terry White.